May I ask a really quick question?
Yeah.
Oh, when I meditate, and I've noticed for myself that sometimes I experience a physical sensation where my body will actually move.
Good. That means you are in alignment enough that you are the receiver of the impulse to move. You are the receiver of the impulse to move. That means you're in the receiving mode. So just sit there. Now, don't try to make something up. Don't try to think of powerful thought. Ooh, I'm going to save the world. Don't get your mind in the way. As the woman said to her child, shut up. Just be still and be the receiver of the impulse. Be the receiver of the impulse. You are all the time. You're the receiver of impulses when you drive. You're the receiver of impulses when you yawn. You are the receiver of impulses when you sneeze. You are the receiver of impulses when you breathe. You are the receiver of impulses all the time. You just don't know that you are. But when you've deliberately quieted your mind and you're the receiver of this impulse, this is a really good thing. And then maybe in this setting, maybe in this moment of meditation, maybe that's as far as it will go.
It's gone farther, and that's part of what the question I wanted to ask was, I had an impulse at one point to write, and I just kind of sat in that meditative state, whatever you want to call it, and I've felt my hand just write, but it's been through me as opposed to of me, if that makes any sense, or maybe I'm not saying.
Well, it's all we've been talking about, so yeah it makes some sense.
Yeah.
You know who you're talking to?
I know, right. Indeed.
And them too, they get it too. And you say, if it makes any sense, I meditated and I received some stuff. I know you don't want to believe that. 47 minutes, that's what we've been talking about for 47 minutes.
Oh, I do love you. I so love you. It's happened now for a while, and I've been wanting to talk to you about it because...
But we want to talk to you about something else. Yes. But we want you to be the receiver. You're talking to us about something that you want to soothe or to be different, and we want you to understand that, and this is the most important thing. You all think that when you sit to meditate, the source is going to write a book through you that's going to change the world. Well, okay, maybe. It could happen. It could happen. But don't you have other things also that you want to receive about?
Yes.
Like everything?
Yeah.
And so why does it always have to go to, oh yeah, I sat and meditated and now I'm writing a book? Why can't it be, I meditated and I got a thought and I followed it through and a wonderful thing happens? And I meditated and I got a thought and I followed it through and something else. Why can't it be, Source is guiding me in what feels like a magic carpet ride to the fulfillment of my existence? In other words, to the fulfillment of my beingness. You get what we're getting at. Let your alignment keep you joyful. There isn't anything more important than that you feel good and that you be happy, because this world is going to keep going on. It's set up perfectly. There's always going to be contrast, and there's always going to be those like you who are always going to be asking for more. So you're always going to be launching more into this vortex, and so evolution and expansion is going to continue to be. The evolution of all species is about this. And there will always be Source answering that. And there will always be new children who receive, and the beasts of your planet who receive, and some of you who deliberately receive. In other words, it's always going to be okay. It's always going to be okay. We don't need to write books, and you don't need to receive books on how to keep this all going on, because it's all always going to go on. This is only about you being joyful while it goes on. This is about you not waiting until you croak to finally put yourself in the receiving mode. This is about being in your body, in the same body that did the asking, and in this body do the receiving, so that you get to witness the evolution of the things that you've been asking for. Nothing is more exhilarating than to witness these thoughts turning to things, these vibrations turning to thoughts, and these thoughts turning to things. Oh, it's the process of that life is all about. This steady pipeline of things in the process of becoming, And yes, they will manifest into experience, and there will be a book, and yippee, you'll be excited about it for the afternoon. It's the delicious contrast that caused you to focus. Yes. It's the focus that caused you to launch the rocket. Yes. It's that rocket that caused your inner being to join it and add momentum. So the vortex is gathering all of the cooperative components. And then you quieting your mind and getting into the receiving mode so that you can follow the impulses into your joyful now, into your joyful now, into your joyful now. Not your joyful later, not your manifestation later, to the joyful now. So much fun to find those buttons on those machines. 10 years Esther's been in that house and never understood how to operate any of that. It was so much fun to discover what it would do, and so much fun to make it do it, and so much fun to do it for the neighbors. Not the neighbors. So much fun. But even more fun when she realized it was leading to this and this and this and this and this. And that's a story that will continue to go on for years after year after year after year after year after year after year. The satisfaction of that becoming will never come to an end in Esther's lifetime. It's just going to get better and better and better and better and better as she continues to hear and receive the stories from her new friend and the success that he is now having. You see what we're getting at? Yes. There's no ending to this now joy. But we want you to get fixated on the now joy, not the later joy. On the now open valve, not the later open valve. On the how I feel now, not how I feel will affect what comes later. You hear the difference?
Yeah. Yeah.
Focus on how I feel now, not what that will produce. Oh yeah, I meditated. I quieted my mind. I got feeling really good. And now I can really do something. No. Because the minute you turn toward your ulterior motive of doing something with it, now you're back in the focusing on what is, and you stop the whole flow of all of that, you see.
Yeah.
Do we make you sound like you are puppets on a string? You are not. Because you're running the show. You came. You're the leading edge. You're in the contrast. You're making the decisions. Can you feel the difference between your thinking of a thought, step 1, and your receiving of a thought, step 3? We'll wait until you figure that out. Can you feel the difference? Well, this is a new thought for you, isn't it? When you're exploring contrast, you're thinking about it. You're evaluating it. You're measuring it. You're comparing it. You're choosing from one thing and another. In other words, you're contemplating it. Your thinking mechanism is really involved when you're in that contrasting mode. But once you've launched that rocket, and once Source has hold of it, don't you think it would be a good idea for you to listen in to see what Source thinks about it, and to see what resources have been gathered up for you, a steady stream of them? So it's like Source says, all right, we've got a beat on what you want, and you can keep exploring life, and you can keep amending your desire, and we'll keep feeding to you impulses and suggestions about how you might enjoy the evolution of this desire the most. Not how you can get to it the fastest, not how you can justify your existence by getting rid of this problem, how you can enjoy the unfolding of this desire the most. It's like the new ice cream store opened. Oh, they have so many beautiful things to choose from. And so you look and you choose and you get it, and then do you scarf it as fast as you can? Do you have an ice cream eating contest? Let's see who can make it disappear the faster. Or do you lick it and savor it and slow it down? Do you savor it? Do you make it last as long as you can? Do you enjoy it? That's what your inner being wishes for you on this journey. Let's just play with this for a minute. So let's say, it's not like this, but let's pretend just for a moment. Let's pretend that it took you 5 years of contrast to ask for something. It's not like that, but let's just say, just for, and now you've asked, and now you want it to manifest all of a sudden. No. You want it to manifest slowly and continue to surprise and delight you with every stage of its evolution. You want to feel in on it, don't you?
Yeah.
You are too impatient to really understand what we're getting at here. Really, to be fair, until you've meditated every day for a while, we're talking maybe 30 days. Might be sooner, but maybe 30 days. so that you really know that you're in the receiving mode, and you receive a thought that's so compelling that you just can't not follow it. And then it leads to something and leads to something and leads to something, and the pleasure just keeps coming and coming and coming and coming and coming, and you are actually a conscious witness to the unfolding of the thought that you know you received because of meditation. Until that happens to you, this is just a theory that you could forget about tomorrow. But once you actually begin meditating deliberately and are acknowledging even during meditation, this must be the receiving mode because I am chilled. And then an impulse or a thought comes, and you know for sure that you received it. And then the impulse is strong enough because you've been in a state of non-resistance, so that the impetus, the momentum of the thought of source has enough momentum going that your impulse to act on it is strong enough, and you do, and you witness the result of that successful receiving mode, that successful download of important information from broader perspective, who knows about you and loves you so much. Once you start doing that, then you'll say, the magic is back in my life. Then you'll say, I'm invincible. Then you'll say, bring it on, contrast, because I just love having a new thought, because all I got to do is put it over there in the vortex machine, and the vortex machine will attract all the cooperative components, and when it's ready for me, source will tell me, and I'll be ready for source to tell me, because I'm ready every day for source to tell me. I don't just meditate occasionally. Yeah, I have meditated. You said I've meditated. I am a meditator. I meditate every day. Every day I put myself in the receiving mode. Every day I know source has something to give me. Every day I'm ready to receive what I'm most ready to receive. Every day I'm as ready as I'm ready, and I'm only as ready as I'm ready, and I don't know how ready I am, but I'm ready enough, and I don't know how ready that really is, but I'm ready enough to sit and see how ready I am. I don't know how ready I am. Esther was ready enough to want to move her furniture around. And if someone had said, what are you doing today? And Esther had said, I'm moving all of the furniture around in 2 houses. I'm moving the furniture around. They would have said, is that the most productive thing that you can think of to do today? Are there other more productive things that you might do? Isn't there a book you might write? Don't you want to save humanity in some way? Really? Oh yeah, I want to do all of those things. But what I really want to do is just move this furniture around. Well, isn't there something else that would be more important for you to do? Maybe, but I can't think of it right now. All I want to do is just move this furniture around. It's all I want to do. I cannot not move this furniture around. Moving this furniture around just sounds like the best idea I've ever had. Want to go on vacation? No, I want to move the furniture around. Want to go to lunch? No, I want to move the furniture around. Want to write a book? What? Doesn't matter. No one could offer anything. Fortunately, she was alone, and no one was offering anything to her. But what we're getting at is, you have to be committed to, not committed. You have to be committed to following the impulse when it comes. And then when you begin making the association between the impulse that came and the way it felt and the results of it, as you begin witnessing thoughts turning to things, then you will know that you're onto something really important. We think this is a really good time for a segment of refreshment.